It is my honor to speak with judicial candidate Judge Tony W. Stansberry. He is running for a seat, the Sessions Court Judge, a seat he has held for the past 26 years, and he's running for re-election. A little bit about Tony. He graduated from the University of Tennessee Law School, and then in 1987, he took a job with the District Attorney's Office in Knoxville, Tennessee, where he prosecuted criminal defendants for about 7 or 8 years, if my math's correct. And then in 1994, he went into private practice for a short stint before running for judge and being elected as a Sessions Court judge in Knoxville. And since 1994, Judge has been sitting on the bench and holding his position. Judge Stansberry, thank you for taking some time to speak with us so the voters will get to know a little bit about you.
Thank you for having me, AZ. It's good to see you.
You're welcome. And I will note for all the viewers that Judge Stansberry's resume will also be posted on the KBA's website if you want to take a further look into his record. All right, Judge, well, to get the ball rolling, let's jump right into it. What do you think makes you qualified to continue serving as judge in Knox County courts?
When I first started in the district attorney's office, first as a law clerk and then as an assistant DA, I was primarily assigned to Sessions Court. So I had several years in Sessions Court and criminal. And I think that helped prepare me for my time on the bench. That was very beneficial. I had some prior experience and exposure to it, and I'm grateful for my service in the DA's office. I had a good time, and it was a wonderful learning experience. I had some great people with me.
And just kind of rolling off of that answer, Judge, what do you think are some of your greatest strengths as a judge and maybe some of your weaknesses, if you have any?
Strengths would probably be prior experience and experience on the bench. Been here for a while and have been part of several upgrades and improvements and specialized dockets to the bench. I started drug court a few years back in Sessions Court, then it came online in criminal court, and Judge Cerny has taken over drug court in Sessions Court, so he's doing that now. So I think those are maybe some of my strengths. Weakness, the future. Don't know what that looks like as far as society and challenges to the court system. I just hope that all of us are ready for it. With the pandemic, these are very uncertain times and have given us a lot of challenges to overcome. I think we've done very well with the help of a lot of stakeholders in meeting those challenges. So the uncertainty of the future and the challenges that may be coming up in the future, I think, are what gives me pause.
Yes, sir. And I can tell you just from experience, drug court has been a great asset for citizens in Knox County who've had to go through that procedure. So we're all very thankful that you started that. I think it was back in 06. Is that right? Something like that?
It's been a while, but I've not been doing it for a while either. Judge Cerny's been doing it for the past few years.
Yes, sir. Well, moving forward, Judge, you mentioned the pandemic earlier. What do you think have been some ways you, seeing as a judge currently, been able to improve court procedures and any improving efficiency of the dockets?
When I came on board, I joined the other 4 Sessions judges after I was the first judge appointed and then elected to this position. This was a newly created position back in 94 or 95. And at that time, we all got together and had a meeting and started specialized dockets with Sessions Courtroom number 1 through 5. The specialized dockets and giving priority to certain types of cases and working with other entities within the system, I think, has helped us a lot. We got a grant a few years back to help us start, and that was with a lot of other people in the system, the Sheriff's Department, the DA's office, the Public Defender's office, the defense bar, the judges, and probation all helped start pretrial services, and we've greatly expanded that. That allows us to offer a variety of ways to supervise people while they're out and reduce the amount of pretrial incarceration.
Yes, sir. And you kind of touched on this a little bit, but what sort of improvements do you see moving forward in the future? I know that's it's tough to put on your prediction hat, but what do you think some ways you might be able to help the future generations who come before you in court?
We probably would like to expand pretrial services some more. All of the stakeholders that I mentioned earlier have worked closely together, served the lion's share of the credit for following through and keeping it going. The expansion of that and meeting whatever challenges that may present themselves in the future, I think, is one of our greatest assets.
Yes, sir. And what do you think may be the biggest challenge currently before your honor's court? Anything you've noticed that's major concern for you right now for your system?
Very much so, yes, sir. There's a lot of drugs coming into our country. We need to expand and establish substance abuse treatment facilities for those that are addicted. There's a lot of fentanyl coming into our country. Everybody knows about the opioid epidemic, but fentanyl is coming into our country. We need to do more to combat that. But locally, we see that in the criminal justice system. So expanded substance abuse treatment, and hand in hand with that, I would be remiss if I didn't mention we have a great need for a mental health hospital. We had the benefit of Lakeshore for several years, and it closed several years ago. And that has impacted our community, the criminal justice system, the jail, and the mentally ill, and the people in Knox County that have mental health issues. They don't need to be in jail. They need to be in a treatment facility, those that are eligible, so that we can treat them and not incarcerate them. Our jail is not the place for the mentally ill.
Yes, sir. Last question, a little bit more of a lighthearted question. Who do you think, or do you have any judicial role models, Judge Stansberry? Somebody before you that was on the bench, state, federal, that you kind of respect, and why?
When I first started in the DA's office, I thought Judge Jimmy Duncan, before he became a congressman, he was in criminal court for several years. Judge Emery, Judge McGee, Judge Nichols, I prosecuted in his court before he became before he became DA and special counsel to the DA. So I've had the benefit of seeing a wide variety of great judges before me and served with Judge Emery and Judge McGee. Those have been my role models.
Excellent, Judge. Excellent. Well, I appreciate your time. I'm going to give you about 1 minute to give us a closing statement or thoughts, and then we'll wrap it up, Judge.
While I've been on the bench, I had the IT department pull up some statistics. They weren't able to do that for civil sessions, but I presided over 128,000 criminal cases. And without getting too far into the details, that doesn't include like traffic cases, bond hearings, violation of probation hearings. So experience, I think, is helpful, and presided over several thousand civil cases. I look forward to my next term. I'm grateful for my colleagues and the staff. We work with a great bunch of people, both in the defense bar, public defender's office, DA's office, sheriff's department, city. So we have a lot of people in the system that work very hard for the system and care about the system in the process.
Well, Judge, I want to thank you for your time, and I just want to end on a real quick note for those who do watch this interview. Back in '04, when I was a first-year law student, a certain judge in Knox County allowed for me to come spend a month with him, watching him work, and taught me the ways every second of the way. And it was you, Judge Stansberry, as you may recall, when we first met, my intern with you. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much extra stuff you do as a judge, taking on interns, doing things extracurricular for the community. So I'm really appreciative of your work and as a judge, and I'm sure the citizens of Knox County are as well. I look forward to another 8 years with you, Judge.
As do I, Z. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Take care.